Hello, and this is my presentation on understanding social media's impact on adolescent mental health. So, just for some background on why I chose this topic, I want to talk about my personal interest and core values. I was curious. I want to understand how digital spaces shape human interaction, collaboration, recognizing that families, schools, platforms, adolescents, we all share responsibility. It's not just adolescents. I think adolescents get most attention when we hear the word social media, but it's important to know that everyone in society, no matter how old you are, what you look like, what you are, we all play a role in social media and we all share responsibility in it. In connection to core values, improving well-being, promoting healthy communication, and supporting youth resilience. Those are all things that are important to me, and that's kind of my goal out of this is to promote those and to get that out of this. My thesis statement. Unregulated social media use among adolescents contributes to worsened mental health outcomes, especially anxiety, depression, and low self-esteem through social comparison, cyberbullying, and disrupted relational development. My solution for this is a combination and a mixture of things, but the three things I came up with that I think covers it really well is digital literacy education in schools, parental engagement focused on supportive conversations, not confrontational ones or punishment ones, and platform level policy awareness and youth friendly features. And I'm going to talk about three problems. The social comparison and appearance based use is a big problem. Passive scrolling through curated feeds can heighten self judgment and insecurity. So basically what that means is curated feeds, it's selective feeds. All these apps that we use, they have algorithms. And say you're watching a video that makes you really self-conscious about yourself. You watch that whole video, the app's going to think, "Oh, they like this video," and it's going to keep showing more and more and more and more videos of that certain thing. And why would you want to see more videos that make you self-conscious? And it's a big hole and it's a big problem in these apps and the algorithms. And then adolescents are especially vulnerable due to their development stage marked by identity formation and peer sensitivity. I think it's really important that I highlight the identity formation there because, us as adolescents, we're just so young. We don't know who we are, who we want to be. And social media, there's so many different people, so many different posts telling you you should be this, or there's so many different people, and you're constantly comparing yourself with them. So we don't even know who we are, who we want to be. So I think it's important to know that social media has such a big effect on that. And then the second problem, problematic for simple duration of use. The issue is not total time spent, but rather what are you doing? Why are you on social media? Say someone is watching, has 14 hours of screen time. Maybe they're watching soccer games or football games. Football games can take up to 4 hours, soccer games up to like three, you know? So maybe that's why they have so much screen time. So it's not, oh, you have this much time. That's really bad. You need to cut that down. We need to figure out, okay, why are they on social media for so long? What are they doing? And then the third problem is disrupted development. Negative self-perceptions combined with delayed bedtime due to device use can undermine trust and self-image. I think that goes without saying that, negative self-perceptions combined with delayed bedtime, it's going to cause problems. Complexity and context, the nuance of the relationship. I think it's important to know that social media is not universally harmful. At its base, at its core, it's such a great thing. It has so many benefits. There's always going to be people who spread hate, who are very harmful people, evil people, and that goes for everything in life. There's always going to be those people who ruin good things, but I think it's important to know that at its base, at its core, social media is such a good thing and it has so many benefits. And the link between social media and mental health is complex and nuanced. It's very important to know that there's so many great arguments for why social media is bad. There's so many great arguments for why social media is good. And I think the topic is just so vast, we need to understand that the topic is very nuanced and it's a very big one. Addressing the critics. My solution that I'm proposing is it avoids authoritarian bans and tyrant-like bans that are going to ban social media just completely. Think about all the benefits social media brings. All the sports games people watch, all the things we post about how humans connect all over the world. There'll be no more of that if we ban that. So I think there's so many better ways to go about it, and it's about harnessing the good and diminishing and minimizing the bad. And here's a three-part solution for digital resilience. First, reiterating what I was talking about on the first slide, digital literacy. We need to introduce curriculum in schools. So, there's so many different trends going on. There's so many different new words that definitions of words are constantly changing. Us as adolescents, we're constantly, changing words, making up new words. Older generations, they're not going to know what these things mean. So it's important to, teach digital literacy on what things mean, and keep everyone on the same page. Active parental engagement, part two. I think we need to equip parents with tools to engage in open conversations and set negotiated boundaries. You know, I think parents need to sit down with their kids and set boundaries, but it needs to just not be confrontational or punishment, you know. We need to have open-ended conversations with each other and find a solid, same ground that we can agree on. And part three, platform policy awareness. Advocate for collaboration between companies and policymakers to implement youth-friendly features. In conclusion, social media is such a powerful tool embedded in adolescent life. There's so many problems with social media, so many negatives. There's no denying that, but we are the humans. We're the ones that can shape social media, not be shaped by it. And call to action. Everyone needs to join the effort in fighting this. Do not simply ask how much time is spent online. Ask how and why. Educators, parents, please introduce digital literacy education and be coachable, be learnable, and foster supportive dialogue. Don't be confrontational, be helpful. Policymakers, advocate for platform level adjustments. Adolescents, learn to reflect, connect, and grow. Like I just said, let's be coachable in life. Let's learn, let's connect, let's grow together. That's my works cited. Thank you.